Assalamualaikum students. In this session of English language, we are going to talk about the kinds of verbs and a little bit detail about them. The first kind of verb we have finite verbs, second non-finite verbs, third action verbs, fourth linking verbs, fifth helping verbs, sixth regular verbs, seventh irregular verbs, 8 modal verbs. Okay students, we are going to dig into the detail about the kinds of verbs. The first kind of verb is the finite verbs. The finite verbs function as the main verbs in the sentence. It shows the tense and agreement to the subject. For example, study, studied, studying, will study, will be studying. They are showing the verb is a single study. But for making it a past form and use it in a past form, we have converted into studied by adding the suffix. And for making it a continuous sentence, we have add ing suffix to it to make it studying. And for the future sentences, we have add will study. And also it can be future perfect by making it will be studying. Future perfect continuous. Now moving on to the next kind of verb, it is the non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs does not show any tense. They cannot stand alone as the main verbs. For example, my brother cleaning the car. The non-finite verbs make incomplete sentences. Like this sentence, my brother cleaning the car. This sentence is neither showing any tense or agreement. When we add a helping verb in it, like is, then the sentence would be like my brother is cleaning the car. Now it is showing the tense in the sentence. Now this sentence has become the complete sentence. We add a finite noun or a helping or linking verb to the non-finite verbs to make the sentence complete. Now moving on to the next kind of verb, they are the action verbs. Action verbs shows the action of the nouns or pronouns. The action would be physical and can be mental. Like the physical action can be like slap, walking, sleeping, doing some work. And the mental action can be like forget, forgive, etc. Now moving on to the next kind of verb, they are the linking verbs. Linking verbs does not show any actions. They link or join the verbs. Like this sentence, like in this sentence, she is a girl. In the sentence, is linking the noun to the sentence. She seems happy. Seems is linking the noun with the verb. Now we look into the more detail of some more kinds of verbs. So next we have helping verbs. Like linking verbs, helping verbs also joins the sentence, but they come always before the main base verbs. For example, is, am, are used for present sentences, was, were used for past sentences, has, have, had used as the helping verbs in the perfect sentences. Now we have next kind of verb, irregular verbs. Irregular verbs and irregular verbs talk about the past form of the verbs. When the past form is made by adding ed to it, they are the regular verbs. But if they are changing its spelling, not by adding ed to it, they are the irregular verbs. For example, fall, fell. And for the regular verbs example, dance, danced. Now we talk about the modal verbs. Modal verbs change other verbs in a sentence. to show a level of possibility, to indicate ability, to show obligation or requirement to do something, to give permission. Some of the modal verbs are can, can't, have to, don't have to. We have main 8 modal verbs such as can, could, must, have to, should, would, will, shall, etc. Okay students, so in this session we have talked about the kinds of verbs and a little detail about all of them. We have talked about the finite verbs, which are the main verbs and show the tenses. The non-finite verbs, which does not show the tenses, and they do not stand alone, and the finite verbs are added before them to make the sentence complete. Action verbs, they show the action. The action can be physical or mental. Linking verbs, they link two verbs together or two sentences together. Helping verbs, the helping verbs comes before the main base verbs to show the tense. The regular verbs and the irregular verbs, these are both for the past sentence or for the past form of the verbs. If the ed is added to make it the past form, they are the regular verbs. When it is the ed is not added or the spelling is changed, then they are the irregular verbs. The modal verbs. The modal verbs change the verbs in the sentence. So that's it for this session. In the next session, we are going to talk about the forms of verb. For that, stay tuned for that.